So, yeah, we didn't exactly start at the same place we left off at. I'm starting here because, I wanted to make sure that we were ready. I wanted to be at least level 45 before we, ventured forward. So, there's something actually kind of funny. So, after using the Robo-Kyogre, you can actually go to Kaminko and tell him, hey, that adventure didn't suck. What are you doing there? How long have you been there? What's that you say? The Robo-Kyogre is proving useful in the fight against Cypher? Well, of course, the Robo-Kyogre's power is mighty! I predicted that this would be an outcome, so I secretly gave it to Makin. Yeah, keep telling yourself that. Keep telling yourself that, buddy. Because that's totally not how it works. Let's have another battle with Chobin. We'll humor him. And that ultimately doesn't matter. Hit Gyarados for the quad weakness. I think Jolteon may not be too helpful here, but it actually is. Because Skiplim's still part flying, so while it resists the electric attack, it's not... It's only, normal damage. Unless you get a crit. That works too. Alright. Get my Jolteon out of here. Because that Leech Seed is going to be a problem. Of course, I could have just gone for the coup de grace. I don't think it would have mattered. Nope, it would not have mattered. You know what? Just because I can, I'm going for overkill. Also, there was no stream last week because Ryu here got sick. And you might hear me hacking every now and then from it. It's not really something that you get over after a week or two. Wow. Especially when you're me. Let's just say it's a lot of misfortune. Alright. So, let's go ahead and take care of that. And then we're going to head back to Citadork Isle. So, all you did was add a reclining seat in an AC. I mean, kudos, because that's not an easy feat to pull off. For that sort of thing. But I feel like it could be put together a little better, considering it sparks while it's moving. Okay, that Baltori will be perfect where the Spearer is, and then it's going to create another maximum capacity Purify box. And there we go. That fixes that issue. Okay, let's see here. Is there anything else I can do? Potentially, yes. Okay, no, I miscalculated. Or did I? Nope, I did. Oh, wait. Yeah, I did. I miscalculated. Darn. Oh well. I guess we could throw something in randomly and just get things started. Yep, I just slightly miscalculated. Oh well. You win some and you lose some. What can I say? Also, if it seems like I lag or if I somehow lose connection, my Wi-Fi decided to be wonky again this week. Can't catch a break, can I? First I was sick and now my Wi-Fi's on the fritz. Well, there you have it. I think I just cursed for, despite being my birth month. A new newscast. What's this about? Well, at least they can do something about the other facilities. Did I forget a Pokemon? Well, that's interesting. Well, let's go and deal with that. Oh, right. I think I missed Hitmonlee accidentally or something like that. I can't remember. I missed someone. It's been 2 weeks. Give me a break. So I'm gonna have to go all the way across the region. Oh, boss, sir. Mirabee, sir, that uppity brat we met before. He's over there.
Well, my boys, isn't that pathetic? Surely you two aren't spooked by this little boy. How very, very bad is that? You're Michael, is that it? I don't want to disappoint you or anything, but I don't have mercy for anyone in our way, not even little children. Let the music play!
Best character. Bar none. Interesting. Oh, right. I forgot about the Altaria. That's what it was. To be fair, that is a Pokemon that does kind of fit his motif a bit. Because it hums. It's called the humming Pokemon. Sure, it doesn't have much in terms of dancing, but I'm pretty sure you can teach it to. I mean, for context clues, it even has Aria in its name. Which is interesting, I gotta admit. Oh yeah, thanks. Oh yeah, thanks for coming out, Mirabee. You remind me I need to buy some more Ultra Balls. Nice.
This temple's off. This won't do. Won't do at all. Oh, I took you for granted. Just a boy, I thought to myself. You too. This is where we all say, let's go, escape.
A character never gets old. Okay, let me double check the snag list and make sure that I'm not missing anything else. Negative. Okay, good. So, that was the last thing, apparently. Unless I mess up again. Which is very, very real because, we have a little bit of a boss rush coming. Because, as we saw before, the Cypher admins, at least the 3 that we've already battled, seem to want rematches. Okay, let's go back in and stick another Pokemon into there. Let's see. Who will work? Grass type, yeah, Tangela. Will this fix anything? Yes, it will. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know. The whole... You gotta carry the Pokemon with you to, purify it. I get it, but at the same time... This just makes it so much easier. I gotta admit. Okay, so... I highly recommend that if you have a Dark type, that is the Pokemon that you should have at this point. Out front. I'm pairing up with Jolteon because Jolteon's good in its own right. It's a glass cannon, I know, but it does what I need it to do. At least we don't have to hoof it anymore. Okay. So reason being is, look who's waiting for us. It's been a while, boy. Do you remember me? Do you recall this? I helped you in Gadeon Port. There's no need for thanks. I was merely punishing a fool that used a shadow Pokemon in public. At that time, we didn't want the world to know what we, Cypher, were planning. Back then, I thought you were just an ordinary child. Little did I suspect that you would become Cypher's biggest and most damaging threat. That's enough talk. You have the skills and wherewithal to reach Citadark Isle. Let me see your abilities in full glory. So there's been a lot of build up to fight this guy. Cypher Admin Ardos is a cut above a lot of the admins you fought up until now. Starts out with Swellow and Alakazam. We've seen the Alakazam before. What's interesting, though, is that was a glimpse of what was to come, because he's still level 44. But anyway. The Swellow is a Shadow Pokemon, a very good one. Guts is an ability, gaining boost in physical attack if it has a status problem. It is also a very good user of Facade, and it's very fast. It does have Shadow Half, so keep that in mind. Now, I want to get the Alakazam off of the battlefield ASAP, because this thing is a monster. It has the 3 elemental punches and Psychic as its moveset. The 3 elemental punches were special based back then. And I got crit on it, so that works. Kingdra is his next Pokemon. Yeah, this guy's not messing around. Kingdra, at this point in the series, only has one weakness. Dragon. Making it quite the foe to deal with. I'm afraid to hit. I'll hit the Swell with Fan Attack because it's weaker. Ow! Excuse me? Huh. Well, I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, get out of here. That thing could cause some damage. Heracross is next. Very good Pokemon, I gotta admit. I'm not as afraid of it, but it still can be a threat. Oh, I may have messed up. I knew that it had that too. Okay, crisis averted, but I still lose a Pokemon. The plus side is the Swellow cannot attack next turn. Might as well go for it. Ah! So close. Get out of here, Heracross. Electabuzz is his next. And it is a Shadow Pokemon. So, fun fact. If you did do the trade for the Elekid and evolved it at this point, a repeat ball will actually work. I am not joking. It's actually very funny. Okay, Rod. This isn't good. 'Cause now he has me on my back foot. Oh, this is going to hurt, especially since Guts is activated. Yep. Call that one. Alright, that should not annihilate it. I hope not. In case he goes for Shadow Half again, I'm not taking a risk with Swallow. There we go. Alright. His last Pokemon is... oh boy. Yeah. Okay, so this is a Shadow Pokemon as well. Snorlax has a new move. It's called Shadow End. What it does is it has the same power as Takedown. No, wait. It has the same power as Double Edge. And it deals half of your HP as Recoil. Because it is a physical move, that Snorlax will annihilate anything it hits. Be very careful. This thing is a monster. Also, its catch rate is a lot lower than some of the other Pokemon we've encountered at this point. Okay. Electabuzz down. Oh boy, this is going to hurt. Yeah, that's a problem. I'm pretty sure 10 turns have passed at least. Let's give it a shot. Nope. Nothing. It's better land Gardevoir. Oh, this is not going to end well. Okay, what are the downsides of Shadow End, though? Its accuracy is low. But, considering Snorlax hits like a truck, it doesn't matter. You're lucky if it misses. Okay, good. I don't have to deal with that menace now. This is trouble. If something's not done... Yeah, that's a taste of what we're up against. This guy was tough. I realize now that I should have crushed you much earlier. This is out of my hands now. I must defer you to Master Greevil himself. But boy, don't think that this is over. I won't abandon my dreams. And they're generous enough to give you a healing machine. Much needed. Okay. There is no shame in doing this. There's a couple more battles that you have to do. But after those, I will not fault you if you decide to withdraw something like that Snorlax, because you're going to need it.
Ho ho ho. Now this is quite a surprise. You managed to defeat Ardos. Of course, you have also beaten so many of my followers. Perhaps it is no surprise that you won. I must say that I haven't been this excited in a long time. I do have an appreciation for the strong, you see. However, I also cannot allow your interference. My Shadow Pokemon plan is nearing completion. So for the time being, I think I will have you securely out of the way right where you are now.
You know, fair point. Hey, look, a competent villain. But that'll last a long time. Yeah, well, it was the title back then because this was 2005. So you have to go investigate the elevator, like, well, guess I'm going to go back. Yeah, yes they were.
It's me again, kid. You know, it makes me kind of happy to see you since I've seen you so often. But the way you keep beating me, my credit's taking a beating, So Master Greevil gave me this one last chance to redeem myself. But this is it. If I lose this one, there's no tomorrow. Here goes.
Okay, so after we just battled Ardos, this guy's going to be a bit of a joke in comparison. But he's still no pushover. Alright, let's try to... Now, he uses the same strategy he used before, which is Protect Earthquake. I completely agree with you, they were. But hey, it was the era when internet memes started existing. Ooh, not a bad Pokemon. This team's actually pretty stacked, I'm not gonna lie. Ursaring's a decent monster, as is Aggron. Aggron has 2 quad weaknesses, which is unfortunate, but it's still pretty decent in its own right. Too bad special defense is terrible. Okay, Walrein. Another solid Pokemon. That didn't do as much as I thought it would. I'm not impressed. Yeah. Okay, so yes. He's... Compared to the last guy, this guy's a joke. Poliwrath is his next Pokemon. And it is a Shadow Pokemon. Behold, the first water fighting type. Seriously, did everyone forget about this thing? As you expect, high physical attack, decent special attack, decent bulk. Not the greatest Pokemon, but not the worst either. It's very solid. Mr. Mime is his next, and his Shadow as well. Here's the thing. Mr. Mime is actually a decent Pokemon. if you have no access to Alakazam in the Gen 1 games, Mr. Mime is actually highly recommended. No joke. It's also one of the better dual screeners as well, and it gained a regional variant and an evolution later on in the series. Switch is something with a bit more bulk, since Jolteon's very much a glass cannon, and it did its job for me. Yes, I do. Because, Boomerang was one of my favorite channels when I was younger. Still kind of is, but it's a little harder to access than it used to be. Really? Why? Oh. You have a point. I'm not going to lie. Also, what's funny about Wacky Racers is that Dick Dastardly was the best racer, and he would win every race if he didn't stop and cheat. Oh god, you're right. At least Pit Stop was a little more likable personality-wise than Sable, but, you know. Alright. Well, that was practically free. Ah! We're doomed! Ah! That was the very last chance Master Greevil gave me. How could I keep losing to some kid over and over? If there were a tree, I'd climb it to get away from all this. Well, you act like Donkey Kong, so I guess it wouldn't be too out of the question. Alright, I need to go get some Ultra Balls. I'm just keeping the timer balls for, like, the last couple battles in the game. You'll understand why. Also, she is not. She doesn't get along very well with fans, and she didn't get along very well with other people, for that matter. So the fact that her and Lesnar end up together makes perfect sense. Because of how similar both of them are. Of course, Brock's gotten better about working with fans. And then some fans know to just, if he doesn't want to be bothered, to leave him alone. Carry 50 Ultra Balls, that would be helpful. No, not Super Potions. Super Potions are kind of useless at this point. Pick those up. How many do I have of these? That should do. Okay. And let's go top off the timer ball count. Should have done this earlier without... No, not FedEx City. Come on, controller. I'll just buy 10 more. I don't think I need that many more of them. Okay. Put that over there. You know, considering I just took down Ordos and Gorgon, what makes you think you stand a chance? Touché. Couple of... Glalie not that great, but Ampharos is a decent Pokemon.
I should know, I used one in the last game.
Shameless plug activate. Ray Loomis is next. Man, your team's actually not terrible. Your movesets are awful, though. Ouch. Doug Trios is next. And it is a Shadow Pokemon. Pure Ground type. Bad defenses. High speed, high attack. It's the name of the game with Doug Trio. But it naturally learns Earthquake, which is very good. There you go. I mean, it's the name of a move. That counts for something. Sorry, they never made a Typhoon move, though. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, well. Well, in the last game I played, there was a move called Stormfront, which did damage along with setting rain. Makes me wish that something like that actually existed. But, you know, fan game, you know how that goes. I mean, look at how, Pokemon and Power World are doing right now. Oh no. You want me to do a podcast? Huh. Okay, so I am going to take Snorlax in instead of my Primate because we may need to fall back on a wall. That also gives me an excuse to use my iPad for a different reason, because I can actually make notes. So, yeah, your Grandmaster plan there was to block me with a pane of glass, but, did you know there's a side door? Illness. Sir, who allowed this child to penetrate our defenses so deeply? What is the meaning of this? The others can't be counted on at all. I am giving you the responsibility of dealing with this child. You finally managed to anger Master Greevil. I thought I would end up battling you one day, but this isn't how I hope to face you. If we battle, it will only be unfulfilling and without meaning. Will you challenge me knowing that? Yes. Fine. I understand. But once we begin, expect no mercy. That is my philosophy. Alright. Time for the younger and more talented between Greevil's two bodyguards. This guy, if you thought Ardos was hard, this guy is scarier. So he starts out with Ninjask and Manectric. Already there's a pretty decent combination here, because Ninjask is weak to electric, and Manectric has lightning rod potentially. Potentially, yes. This guy is actually no joke. Though. What do I want to do? Let's just go ahead and get started. Oh boy, this thing needs to go down. Ninjask is a Pokemon I always underestimate. I could believe that. Salamence, oh boy, is his next Pokemon. And yes, it is a Shadow Pokemon. I will not fault you if you knock this thing out. This thing is a beast. One of the two pseudo-legendaries of Gen 3. That thing is a monster. And this is what we have Snorlax for, to absorb some damage. Yeah. It's worth a shot. And that's why I say bring it with you. Because Snorlax might be able to save it. Boom. Okay, Manectric taken care of. Flygon is his next Pokemon. It isn't Shadow, unfortunately, but this thing is still dangerous. Come on, get the paralysis. Darn. Ah, that isn't good. All right. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Okay. Might as well try on this thing. Up to this point, this is one of the scariest shadow Pokemon that you may end up facing. Yep. I didn't think that would work. Yeah, I wasn't joking when I said Snorlax is a beast. Marowak is his next Pokemon. And it is Shadow as well. Oh, tragic backstories. How I love thee. But, despite that, this thing is actually pretty good. It has good physical attack, knows Earthquake in the very beginning. It's holding the Thick Club, which means that its Earthquakes will do even more damage. So, yeah, that's... Marowak is very potent now. Took a few generations to get there, but here we are. Okay, good. That's out of the way. Lapras is his last one. And it is also Shadow. Yeah. He had 4 of some of the best Shadow Pokemon that I have seen at this point in the game. I told you this guy isn't joking or messing around. It's just a shame that Lapras comes this late in the game, because if we could have gotten it earlier, I would have loved to have used it. Ow, by the way. It was bound to happen eventually. I couldn't keep rolling hits on Snorlax forever. Yeah. Okay, this thing definitely has thick fat. You know, these might actually be useful now. And they are. Good to know. Okay, this should work. For all intents and purposes. And it did. Good. We lost. Totally. You are powerful, much more than I had imagined. If you aim to stop our plan, then you should keep going. However, the Grandmaster's power is probably far greater than you can imagine. I doubt you will beat the man. Yeah. They are not messing around now. Okay. After that battle, I highly, highly recommend you go back here and at least find a place for the Salamence at least. If not, then try to get the Lapras as well, because they're going to be very helpful going forward. However, I want to get that item off of Snorlax. Because while it's time consuming, because we're going to have nothing but a bunch of Shadow Pokemon going forward, it might be a good idea to have the leftovers for Salamence. Salamence being tanky. Who would have ever seen that coming? Okay. Okay, I had an extra one. Interesting. I'll give that to, Walrein then. Okay, so... the next couple battles. Well, there's a couple optional ones I'm going to do because... it wouldn't hurt to have a little extra experience. Probably. Yeah. I'm not sure how much use Primeape is going to be, so I think I might sub out Crobat for the Lapras. Just so I have an extra body, just in case things go south fast. Yeah, there's a couple of researchers that you can battle here for some extra experience and money if you want to, but you don't have to. But they'd be a nice little cooldown after fighting Eldis. In case you didn't notice, I don't like Miltank. Ha! Hey, does that mean I get to make ice cream? I froze a dairy cow. Dang, you're bad. Your light-up's not bad. I gotta admit. Oh dear. Okay. That could have been fatal. Getting blasted with a hyper beam from slacking. Yeah, that doesn't sound pleasant. I just love how they just kind of get deleted from the world, I guess. Whenever you beat any of the peons or the researchers in this place, they just vanish. Are you deleting them from existence or something? Or are they jumping out the windows? I don't know. Then why are you battling me? Well, this could prove to be difficult. Mirror code is scary, especially with this lineup. The other guy had Armaldo. He had a Credilli. Ah, no. Oh, good. It didn't use Mirror Coat that time. You fool. Huh. Credilli, huh? Well, that's an annoying Pokemon to deal with. You know, I have a very good question when it comes to Milotic. If you look up its coloring in the Pokedex, it falls under pink. Does that thing look pink to you? Or even have pink? I mean, I guess you could make the argument that the hair's sort of pinkish, but it's more like a crimson color. Again, why do fast Pokemon learn agility? There's no point. I'm +2, so it should... If it doesn't knock out, it's going to do a lot of damage. Okay, it did. Also, you get to see a little battle going on. It's just a normal camera up using Fire Blast. And people think that this Zatu's using a shadow move. It's actually you just using Nightshade. Fun fact.
And that's how you know that I played these games too much, because I know the attack animations now.
Alright. So... we have quite a task ahead of us now.
And I'm back.
So, now we go after Greevil himself. We already know what's coming. The game has been building up to it for... hell, the Pokemon in question's on the cover.
Ho ho ho, so you've even come this far. I had no idea that a mere child like you would pursue me this long. Professor Crane, Data ROMs, and the Lair, you alone derailed every one of our well-laid plans. Well, perhaps not just you. The news broadcast by ONBS did not help Cypher's cause at all. However, my Shadow Pokemon plan isn't finished yet. The final act is about to unfold. Having come this far, I think you've earned the right to know what I have planned.
Yes, let me explain. Let me go ahead and monologue and explain my plans to you. The one person that can stop me.
The creation of Shadow Pokemon that permanently resist purification, that was the first step. Next, I plan to create an army of Shadow Pokemon that work independently on my orders alone. That's an oxymoron. When the second step is done, I will take over the world without having to rely on bothersome people.
So you're just in this to take over the world, huh?
And now... let me introduce you to my faithful servant, the one that shall become the central figure in my Shadow Pokemon army. Come forth, XD001! Codename XD001, now freed of all adjustments, I present to you Shadow Lugia! This Lugia is the first of the Shadow Pokemon that cannot be purified. Now let us celebrate the completion of my Shadow Pokemon plan in advance. Fall prey to Shadow Lugia.
So after much build-up, we get to fight the beast itself. The Shadow Lugia, codename XD001, unpurifiable Shadow Pokemon, first of its kind. Now, fortunately, it's just the beast by itself, so it's not as dangerous as it could be. But things still gonna hurt a lot. It has a signature move, which is this: Shadow Blast, and it attacks my Shadow Salamence. Smart, smart. Not that it can flee anyway, I just need to waste a turn.
Why are you attacking? You know what? I'm not gonna complain.
Wow, that did almost nothing.
I'm almost afraid to bite it.
Ah, well. You live and you learn.
Hey, not bad. I don't think Grievel has a brain, guys.
Also, why am I doing this and not just chucking the Master Ball? Hear me out. You don't want to do that. You'll see why soon enough. No. No. 10 turns did not pass. Just go ahead and Ultra Ball it. This is still going to be an uphill battle, though, because Lugia has a catch rate of 3 out of 255. It's a legendary, alright. Alright, so because Jolteon has done exactly what I needed it to do, I'm going to switch out for Lapras so I can minimize casualties. Because, as you know, Shadow moves are super effective against non-Shadow Pokemon. However, if you use Shadow Pokemon, you'll essentially wall it off. I know the battle's not going to be super exciting because of this, but I need to buy as much time as I can. So that the timer balls are more potent. Might as well use these Great Balls, I'm never going to use them otherwise. There's still the risk of that happening, however. I will also go out and say that Lugia is not much of an attacker. It's very bulky. It has very high defenses, good HP, everything, and decent speed, decent attack, you know, the whole 9 yards for a legendary. But that's still pretty good. Might as well try this now because these have a little more strength to them. Nope, nothing. Huh. I had a glitch there. Interesting. The reverse mode seemed to have just gone away on its own. That's odd. I could also waste just a few more turns. Might start doing that. Just waste a few turns to increase the potencies of the timer balls. Yeah, I think I will. I'm just going to waste a couple turns. Because these moves do nothing now. And the Lugia is not going to be able to one-shot us, so... Okay, that's 4 turns that have passed. Six. It's going to be 8 turns now. Then once 10 more go, I'm going to start chucking timer balls. We're just waste 2 more turns, and then we're going to go for it. Okay. Now then. These should have a little more potency behind them. Yep, they do. My odds are still not great, but but it's a lot more likely. One. Nope. Alright. Try a few different options. And no, as you can see, because I've had the Master Ball for a while, there is no Master Ball glitch in this game. They fixed that. come on. Gotta get it up at some point. Oop. Might as well try to empty these out. Who knows, it might actually work. Nope, didn't think so. Yeah, I'm not even getting anything out of it. Getting one shake is equivalent to getting nothing in the normal games, where it just immediately breaks out of the ball. One. Nope. Nope. Jeez. Come on now. At least humor me a little. Ah. Yeah, but it's being a pain. But, you know, 3 out of 255 capture rate, what can you do? And I actually recommend not using the Master Ball, but it's starting to get on my nerves. Thank you for the follow, by the way. Jeez, it's not even giving me a... It's not even humoring me now. Jeez, finally. Okay. Now we can move on. Lugia!
How dare you, child? How dare you snag my Shadow Lugia, my one loyal subject? There's nothing left, but I will personally see to the total destruction of your Pokemon. Fall!
And now we get to battle the man himself. Okay. So we have Rhydon, and yes, do not adjust your screens. That is Moltres, one of the legendary birds. And guess what? Both the Rhydon and the Moltres are Shadow. Every single one of his Pokemon are Shadow. Yeah. How's that for irony? Okay, I don't want the Jolteon out there right now. Okay, so I actually have a challenge imposed. I have done this before, but, you know, I don't see it happening multiple times. Capture all 7, that includes Lugia, of Greevil's Pokemon in one go. Can you do it? That is my challenge. Oh dear. This may hurt. Ah. Not as much as I thought. Okay, the Rhydon does not have Rockhead. Okay. So I made the good call by switching out Jolteon. Okay. Also, have I mentioned how awesome the music is in this game? Yeah. Also, I want to point out something. Greevil is the first antagonist to use 7 Pokemon. No, it was not Getsus, folks. Next up is Executor, which is, well, I already mentioned it earlier. So, What's going on here is Greevil is a Gen 1er, folks, aside from Lugia, that is, because he's using a full team of Gen 6 OU/Ubers. Also, the fact that we're seeing one of the legendary birds, you gotta figure he has the other two as well. So somehow this guy kept all of the legendary birds to himself. In the previous game, 3 of the higher ranking admins had 3 of the legendary beasts. So they separated it out. And it's like, to be fair though, having the birds early in the game would be kind of overpowered. So I understand. But at the same time, especially Zapdos, because that thing has always been a menace. No matter what time period it is. Oh yeah, that's something I also forgot to mention at this point. So you notice how it says snag up above the health bar? That is because the Pokemon have been successfully snagged, yes. But in order to keep them, you have to win the battle. Meaning if you do lose, those Pokemon go back to the trainer and you wasted all that time and all those Pokeballs. That is actually a fact. Ah, that's not good. Come on, Walrein, really? Well, at least the Executor's making it easier to catch it. Yeah. I'd appreciate if you would stop punching yourself. Well, that's fun. That's all you, bro. Okay. So, let's go after the Executor and get the burn off of my Salamence here. Oh yeah, fun fact. They actually give it an in-lore explanation as to why you cannot just use 2 Pokeballs in one turn. Okay, there's the Executor. Tauros is his next Pokemon. Again, he's using Gen 1 OU and Ubers. Because Tauros in the past was terrifying. It's still not bad today, but back then it was had an extremely high special stat. Back when that was all one thing. Especially if you get them to do the fire, get them into the fire or fire or water typing, depending on the game. I'm not sure how to do it exactly myself. Okay. If wall rain falls, that's fine now, because it's done its job. Okay. Attempt the Ultra Ball on Moltres here. Nope. Of course not. I think the legendary birds are still 3 out of 255 chances. Wait a minute, how is... Interesting. So Tauros is faster than Moltres, eh? Can't say I'm too surprised. Unless I slowed it down at some point when I wasn't paying attention. I'm glad that they did something with the bull Pokemon in the region based on a country where bullfighting is a thing. Shouldn't destroy it, but it's not promising. Ah, come on, Moltres. Actually, let's make this a little simpler on ourselves. Simpler, but also harder on ourselves. Yeah, that's what I mean by harder on ourselves. Hey, as if one legendary bird wasn't a problem, here's another one. Whoop. Yeah, high special defense on Orre now, I'm not surprised.
Under most circumstances, I would be panicking. And I'm still panicking now. Hooray!
Yeah, well... Ah, come on, really? Now you're just teasing me. Okay, I call BS. There's no way you got 2 freezes off in a row. Come on now. Alright, enough of that nonsense. Yep. Critical hit. Annoying. Right, enough of that nonsense as well. Orre is lower, may as well try it. I think Moltres is getting tired of me. Ah! That feels so wrong. Both of these moves feel so wrong doing high damage to Houndoom. And now that doesn't mean anything. Ah, come on. Okay, good. Now you're at red health. Alright, so we're down to our final two as well. He still has a third one, and you can probably already guess what it is. By process of elimination, we have seen two of the three birds. You already know what the last one is. Okay, Articuno dealt with. And then Zapdos is the last one. Because of course. Hey, Zapdos. You're not even getting a chance. I'm not messing around with this. Well, folks, here's Ryu no Kage actually finishing his little self-imposed challenge. Catching all of Greevil's Pokemon in one go. I know it's not over till it's over, but I can sit here and just stall out the battle as much as I can if I have to. Yeah. Ah, come on. Alright, let's switch it up a bit. Ah! Seriously now. Yeah. I always found it weird how Moltres more closely resembles the actual mythos of the Phoenix, but Ho-Oh has the revival powers. I never really understood that. That was always a weird one to me. Also, I love Smosh's description of it. This bird is on fire. Well, I mean, they're not wrong. Ah, come on! Come on! Now Moltres is just teasing me at this point. Challenge complete. Alright. How? A mere child crushed my cherished plan? What? This can't be! This is your fault. I won't forgive. There is no forgiving you. Grandmaster, we're done here. We should blow up the Citadel Isle with the child still on it. But if I did that, our Shadow Pokemon data and our subordinates would be lost as well. Grandmaster, such things can be replaced. We must ensure our own survival. I've readied a helicopter for our escape. We've got to leave now. You're right. Wait. Please wait. You're willing to sacrifice everyone so you can escape? You should be ashamed. Ashamed, clinging to foolish pride will guarantee Cypher's demise. Cypher must survive. That is our first duty. The Grandmaster feels the same way. Yes, for Cypher's sake, sacrifices must be endured. What are you saying? The Shadow Pokemon Factory has been destroyed. XD001 was defeated. Nothing remains of Cypher. Silence! Cypher will live forever. If only this child hadn't. Grandmaster, please give the order to blow up Citadel Isle. Yes, it can't be helped. Don't begrudge us, child. Stop. Let's put a stop to this. Father. Don't call him Father. Call him the Grandmaster. Father, you've lost sight of what is important. You got carried away by this whole Grandmaster nonsense. It isn't possible to take over the world by producing powerful Pokemon. Just think of this child. This child's pure heart won over XD001. We were in the wrong. Silence, silence, silence! Why aren't you showing some spine? We've come so far. Cypher is finished. Father, you yourself should know that more than anyone. And then they set up as if he'll come back as the villain in the next game, but next game never happened, folks.
Now please, stand up. This is how it should be. The laws of the land will render judgment on what we have done. Everything I did, all of it was a mistake. Thanks to your courage, we were finally able to wake up from our nightmare. Thank you. You will have nothing to fear from us ever. You should return home to your family. Let us meet again too. The next time we battle, it won't be as mortal enemies. I will look forward to it.
Yeah, here's the thing. I'm not the biggest fan of this ending, and the original version of the game, let's just say, Wes would have taken over Cypher, and it wouldn't be as, the resolution would not be as, happy. Let's put it that way. However, at the last second, they decided to go a different direction. I don't know, they just got cold feet, I guess. Probably because, you know, you can't have a hero of the previous game be the villain in the next one. Okay, so after we save, I can just hit reset and we don't have to deal with the credits. Because this was the era when you could still do that. Okay, so what is there left to do? Honestly, not much. Especially since we've caught all the Shadow Pokemon. However, there was one loose end. Also, let's go ahead and regain our team. But, there was a Dragonite that was created as the last Shadow Pokemon. So, what happened to it? Also, let's do a little purification here. And I have something that I need to point out. We'll do that after we do a few purifications. And, I'm surprised I can't just purify everything at once. Everything else is so close. Ah, yes, the old theory that Kangaskhan and Cubone were of the same species. Anyway, remember that one? Okay, let's see what else we can manage in here. Alright, let's start, I might purify the birds last, because I kinda want to metagame them a bit. Okay, do I have enough to do another box? Ah, not quite. Wait a minute. On second thought, I may. No, I was mistaken. We can get there eventually, though. You know what? You deserve it. You deserve it. I would metagame the Salamence, but I've already done it. Jeez, look at that. It's insane. Okay. Okay, that's all I can do with this for now. Three viewers? Well, hello. Welcome. Seriously. Can I just walk by you? No, I didn't think so. Michael, it's me, Egan. Surely you haven't forgotten who I am. I sent you an email earlier, Michael. Have you read it? Yes. I panicked and sent the email before I finished it, but I'm glad to hear that you received it. I was inspired by your battle exploits, Michael. You see, it made me want to have a battle with you. That said, Michael, there are countless traitors that would be honored to battle with Cypher's nemesis. I therefore decided to take charge and organize a Colosseum event. Impressed? But before we talk, we must battle you and I. On guard! Okay. How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
I love the young people.
This guy evidently likes the Pikachu line, in which the theory that this is apparently, I believe the theory is that this character is supposed to be Ash older. I don't know. It's either Ash or Red, I don't remember. But either way, both of them are involved with Pikachu in some way. Yeah, the Raichu is something to actually be a bit afraid of. Uh-oh. Especially since that's what weaken my flamethrowers. Won't weaken this, though, but it will weaken the flamethrower. Okay. Now is when I pivot into a ground type. Oh, wait. How about this instead? I see. And knock yourself out. Literally. Went after the Gardevoir exclusively. I see how it is. Well. This is what they call not good. Hey. And nice crit. I'll take it. Oh, I knew it. But bravo! I repeat, bravo! It's no wonder that Cypher has their eyes on you. I must say I enjoyed myself tremendously. I'm sure that the trainers who have gathered at the Orre Coliseum will be delighted to face you. Please, we'd very much like you to come. This is the Orre Coliseum. The toughest trainers in the land have gathered with you as the goal, Michael. We'll be waiting for you at the Orre Coliseum. Yeah, we're not going to do that for a while. Because, this area here, post-game material, uses battle tower or battle facility rules. So, the Pokemon, it's open level. They have to be at least level 60. And they'll scale with your highest level of Pokemon. They also use competitive stats, competitive items, competitive moves. I do not recommend you try this unless you have a way to match them point for point. Which we do not at this point in time. I do recommend, though, if you do purify the Zapdos, for example, that will help you out tremendously. Until you hit a ground type, but that's what you also purify, like, say, the Lapras or the Starmie for. Since, you know, Orre is exclusively double battling. Oh yeah, since we also beat the game, we also have opened up the Trade Center downstairs. So we can move Pokemon around from any of the Game Boy Advance games. But you have to have a special cable, which is not the easiest thing to find these days. But we have one of them. Alright, so, with all that was happening, what happened to that Dragonite? Well, you come here to Gadion Port, and the mirror radar goes off. I don't know if I'm ready to fight this guy yet, but we may as well try. And he seems to be here, at Gadion Port. Well, before I head in there, Leroy Jenkins style, let's, double check something. No, we're 10 levels. We're 10 levels lower than he is. So may not be the best idea right now. So we may have to do some more grinding before we attempt that. But yes, this is how you get that Dragonite. That is the final Shadow Pokemon in the game. So that being said, we're pretty much done with Gale Darkness, aside from a few more purifications and then grinding to those levels. So going to go back to where it all started. And then I'm going to save, and then we're going to call it quits on this game, at least for now. I'll do some, I'll come back to it after I, get the required materials that I need.